key to the treasure.
Get rich with one piece. Get rich with one piece.
Yo, we got Luffy and Zoro, the better the duo. Sanji and Usopp bring out the bankroll. Jekyll Mariah, he rips your soul. Brook and Perona, they cold like a snow globe. Going through the stack like we looking for some crack. Taking y'all to class, man, you better know your math. Call the deck math, cause he always running black. We don't need no power tools, we just bring the axe. Cause we bout to chop it up. TCG, level up. This is more than beginner's luck. Got so many ribs, they backing up. Rapping so cold, got the mains froze. Everybody know that the gang goes. Laws of the land don't make me repeat. We the next king. Getting rich with one piece.
Get rich with one piece.
The piece of the cause, the key to the treasure.
Get rich with one piece. 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 Get rich with one piece.
The piece of the cause, the key to the treasure.
Get rich with one piece. Get rich with one piece.
Yo, we got Luffy and Zoro, the better the duo. Sanji and Usopp bring out the bankroll. Jekyll Mariah, he rips your soul. Brook and Perona, they cold like a snow globe. Going through the stack like we looking for some crack. Taking y'all to class, man, you better know your math. Call the deck math, cause he always running black. We don't need no power tools, we just bring the axe. Cause we bout to chop it up. TCG, level up. This is more than beginner's luck. Got so many ribs, they backing up. Rapping so cold, got the mains froze. Everybody know that the gang goes. Laws of the land don't make me repeat. We the next king. Getting rich with one piece.
Get rich with one piece.
The piece of the cause, the key to the treasure.
Get rich with one piece. Get rich with one piece. Get rich with one piece. Get rich with one piece.
Take this off. It's actually warm in here. I just put it on thinking I was gonna be cold, but I am not. All right. Gotta ship that out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Tomorrow. Hello. Welcome back, gang. Special edition. Really hasn't been a special edition. It's kind of been the norm as of late, streaming, because I got some packs back from grading. There's been a lot going on with the whole grading thing. So, firstly, this is, man, I talk about this. I've talked about this on stream a couple of times before, but I love thinking about future Eric, right? Because it's just when you're going through it, and I'm not talking about anything. Well, I mean, you can relate this to like more serious matters, but I'm just talking about, you know, back in January and February, and I'm submitting all these cards, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be without these cards forever, and blah blah blah, and it's just, and it sucks in the moment, you know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna be without the card for, you know, 3-4 months, and it just seems like such a long ways away. But you know, these past couple of weeks have been awesome because it's just like graded card. You know, I'm getting a ton of them back now. I'll be honest, it's kind of sucked because it's just 9.5s left and right. They're all 9.5s except for, you know, the 4 or 5 that Beckett allows me to get. And I get it and I understand it and blah blah blah, but it's not what I'm looking for, right? For the vast majority of my cards that I want to get graded, right? So I've talked about this already, so I'm switching over to PSA for like the bulk of my graded cards. Now I do have, you know, I still go to Beckett initially for like the very special ones, like the treasure rares, the SPs, any, if I ever pull a manga, you know, the special event packs, those kinds of things, the very unique and special ones, those will still start at Beckett. And then if I get some shitty score that I'd like to get reviewed, then it'll go to PSA to hopefully get a 10. But so this is the last big order. I don't even know how many there are. I think it's like probably like 16 or 17 or something like that, from Beckett, and then the rest of them from Beckett will be smaller orders, like 1 or 2 cards. Again, just because these are the cards that I've started to send in that are the more special, the SPs and that kind of thing. Where I'm trying to get a 10, I'm trying to get a black lip, I'm trying to get those things. If it comes back and it's not, you know, if it's not what I want it to be, then, you know, I can always send it to PSA to potentially get a 10. So, we got some cards to look at. We'll look at those here in a few minutes. The PSA, it is so funny how this stuff kind of works out, but I guess Pokemon is like going through a massive boom right now, which is, I guess it's kind of good, but what's crazy is like I haven't seen any difference in One Piece. Like, it's still hard as shit to get fucking One Piece, even though Pokemon has just come out with a new set and everyone's, you know, going crazy over Pokemon. It's still hard as shit to get fucking One Piece. So I really haven't noticed the difference, but, you know, here we are. So anyways, I say that to say, it's just so funny, like, like when I determined that, okay, we're going to move over from Beckett to One Piece, or excuse me, to a PSA, and it's already more expensive to go through PSA because it's Beckett. For the sub labels and things like that, it's like, it was $17 to go through Beckett to have a card graded. It was $25 to go through PSA. So it's already more expensive. It's like, I don't know, like 30 something percent. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but like 30%, we'll call it, more expensive to go to PSA over Beckett. But not being able to sell 9.5s is really frustrating, and I can't sell them at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it's very frustrating where the game is right now as far as like selling it. And we're just in a lull. Like, if I was trying to sell these cards, I would say like 3 or 4 months ago, I'm sure I wouldn't have had a problem selling the vast majority of the cards that I'm selling and for the prices that I'm asking, because I'm not asking for anything crazy for the 9.5s. Anyways, so like I was mentioning, PSA, they have a massive backlog, right? I guess what they want to be at is about 5 million cards in their backlog, but they're currently at about 10 million. So about double what they ideally would like. Apparently they're going through a whole process right now anyways, where they're hiring a bunch of new people. They're investing in like different infrastructure. I think AI is going to be involved in some kind of way. But they're just going through a big overhaul right now anyways. And what they're doing is they're getting rid of, or they're pausing the lower value levels, okay? And so the lower value levels is what I was doing, going through GameStop, and that's going through GameStop. That's the bulk, the value bulk order is $25 going through GameStop. If you did it yourself, or if you have to have, you either have to go through GameStop or you have to have like a membership to submit the value bulk cards. So to get them for $25, if you don't do that, they're $35. So it's $35 if you don't have the subscription to the PSA thing, or if you don't go to GameStop. So that's more than double. That's more than double what it costs to go to PSA over Beckett. But anyways, what essentially they're doing is they're getting rid of all the value levels. So the $25 and the $35 I was talking about, there's another one that was like $49, I think, and that just different tiers on how quickly you get the cards back, essentially. And right now, to submit a card to get graded via PSA is $80 per card. $80 for one card to get graded. So, needless to say, I'm not doing that at all for any cards. And I guess the good thing is they're trying to essentially slow down all the massive influx of inventory that they've been getting. And they're trying to get to the 10 million cards in their backlog down to 5 million. So they don't have any time frame, or they don't have like a due date or anything like that. But they said their initial estimation is about 4 months, but they're not putting any. They're making it very clear that they're not going to be tied to that number. They could increase it if need be. If if people are paying $80 for fucking to get the card sent and it's not really making a dent, they're assuming it'll take 4 months, but who really knows? So the good news is they're only pausing it. They're not completely getting rid of that tier. So 4 months from now, what month is it? It's June. So October, November, hopefully sometime around there, they'll be caught up and able to start taking new orders. So I guess until then I won't be doing any graded cards except for the special premium cards. I'm not sending any of the cards to Beckett. I'm not sending the bulk to Beckett anymore because it really just is a waste of money, right? At this point, I'm just sending them money. I'd rather just be patient and send, get a good backlog of cards to send off in 4 or 5 months, as opposed to sending them to Beckett and just like not getting shit, you know what I'm saying, and getting a bunch of 9s and 9.5s and shit like that and a couple of 10s. So especially when the 9.5s aren't selling at all. So anywho, I I had seen something about that, but I'm in my head. So I seen something about the PSAs canceling the lower tiers, but I'm like, you can always go through GameStop. And this is again what I had in my head because I had seen it somewhere online or something, and then I was like, that's kind of where my head was. I was like, I'll just keep going to GameStop because GameStop has the $25 price, so we're good. So I don't have to worry about that. But then I went to a card show on Saturday. It was a smaller card show. They were sharing the space with a reptile exhibit going on at the same time. And what's crazy is there was just as many people there for the reptile exhibit for the card show and the card show it was Pokemon. It was 95% everything there was Pokemon, and I'm not kidding. It was Pokemon. And some of the vendors, obviously, they had like different card games and things like that. Like they had One Piece. I saw some like Dragon Ball Z, sprinkled throughout. Or maybe saw some Magic the Gathering. I think I saw like one Riftbound card in someone's display case. I did talk to one vendor who had some fucking who had some Riftbound cards, but they were like his cards that he had, and I was showing him. I had taken some of my graded cards, a bunch of the 9.5s that I was just trying to see if anybody would buy. And I showed it to him, and he went through and he saw I mistaken because I just grabbed a stack of the graded cards. I didn't grab all of them. I just grabbed a stack of them and brought them. And so he saw that there was a couple of Riftbound cards in there, which I wasn't selling, but obviously he didn't know that until he grabbed them. And so he grabbed it, and I was like, I'm not really interested in selling those. And he was like, maybe are you interested in trading? And then he pulled out some Riftbound cards that he had for like his collection. They weren't graded or anything like that, but he pulled them out, and I looked through them. So I got to see some Riftbound cards. Didn't do any trading or anything like that, but it was just Pokemon. Long story short, it was Pokemon, fucking Pokemon. One vendor had some packs to buy, and I was trying to buy the packs, but I had spent so long at their table because I had them look through my stuff. Firstly, they were doing deals with other people ahead of me, so I had to wait for that. Then I had them look through my graded cards. They really weren't interested. And then I was trying to buy the packs, and then the dude didn't come down there for me to grab them. And I'm just like, this is doing too much. I'm like, I'm ready to go. And I had my daughter there with me, my youngest one, and she's, she was a soldier. She did a really good job of, just being the trooper and dealing with daddy's BS and his card addiction or whatever. But she did an awesome job. So I was really happy with her. But I didn't want to like overdo it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, I got to go. So I wasn't able to get any of that. And they weren't selling them for like horrible prices. It was OP14. Man, I really wish I would have got those. But it was OP14 for like $10 a pack. I think he had like maybe 10, 11, 12 packs, something like that. And he said if I ripped them right there, they would sell them to me for $9 a pack. I really wasn't trying to rip them there. So, but anyways, long story short, I didn't get anything. I did get a couple of good cards that I was really happy with. I got Treasure Law because I had been mentioning Treasure Law a couple of times. I saw 2 Treasure Laws there. One was in really good shape. The other one, there was a little bit of whitening on the back, and I'm just like, I don't want to get this and try and send it in and only get a 9 because of that whitening. So I'm looking for like the pristine ones, even though they're only $30 fucking. I should have bought it anyways, honestly. I should have bought it anyways. Now I'm having FOMO because that card is gonna go up. It's $30 for a treasure rare right now. It's absolutely insane. So I got that. I did also buy a super pre-release Tony Chopper. So it's from like the very first set, but before the first set even came out, they have like these super pre-release cards. Not even a pre-release, it's a super pre-release. So I bought that for $70. That's one of those things where, I think if I get it graded and then hold on to it for a bit, that's going to be one of the, it's going to be a pretty good card to have. But we'll see, that one's already sent off. Again, those are the types of cards that I'm going to send to Beckett to see what we can get on those. You know what I'm saying? So I had that, and then I had, I think, another SP potentially. Speaking of SPs, went to a tournament yesterday. They were doing the Pirate Flagship event, which I had no idea they were doing until I got there. I'm like, what is everybody signing up for? Because they had 2 different sheets, and one sheet had a bunch of people, and the other sheet had nobody on there. I was like, what's going on? Why are there 2 events going on right now? And they had, told me that there was the pirate event. I was like, okay, so everyone's signed up for the pirate one and not the regular tournament. It was like, yeah, because it's pretty much the exact same thing, except there's like some promos involved, some different promo cards that are involved, and then there's, top 4 finishes for these, again, special event cards. Anyways, so I lost my first game. Who the hell did I play my first game? I brought Emu, which so I brought Emu because I'm just kind of burnt out from Brook. Just been playing him for so long, but I kind of regretted not bringing him just because I'm like, that's the deck I'm most familiar with. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I didn't know that there was going to be this event, you know what I'm saying? And it's not anything like super prestigious like some of the other events. It's really not. It's kind of geared towards newer players learning the game and figuring out how to play the game is what it's geared towards. But it was just all the same people who are always there, you know what I'm saying? So there were some new people. The first person or the second person that I played was new. Who the hell did I play my very first game? I played Rosinante. I played against Rosinante, the purple Rosinante. Doflamingo, my bad. The purple Doflamingo is who I played against. And he he just sometimes you just see every card that you need to see, and that's what he saw. He saw two of his 10 cost Doflamingo cards, and he was just able to flood the board way before I was able to. And it was just, he froze my blockers one turn, and then I'm making it work. I'm still going in because Emu's a very good deck. Emu's a fantastic deck. And then the very next turn he had Doflamingo. Or he played another 10 cost Doflamingo, so back to back 10 costs, and then froze my board again, and then he passed the turn back, and then I was just kind of like, what, this game's over. So I just conceded, and I'm not saying that I'm doing anybody any favors, like gave him the game or anything like that, because I don't think that was the case. I think the game was genuinely over. I probably could have extended maybe another turn or two, but it was just one of those things where like he just literally saw everything that he needed to, and I'm not super familiar with Emu, so I'm not super, like, I know how to play it like slightly, and it's an easy deck to pilot, but there are some kind of some words, I can't think of words. There are some different ways to pilot the deck, and I just am not super familiar with it. So anyways, second game I played against Boa, blue, yellow Boa. I ended up winning that game, but I had to work, so I had to leave. So I wouldn't have been able to play the third match anyways. And the person that I was playing like felt super new, and she should have won. She should have beat me because she just, again, she's newer to the game. I don't know how long she'd been playing, but she had mentioned it, and she just kind of felt like she was a little bit newer. She should have won, but she split her Dawn incorrectly at the very end. And like while she was doing it, I was like, this is not how you're supposed to do this. But I wasn't gonna do it in the middle of the game, because in my head I was like, I'm already gonna let her win the game anyways. I'm gonna give her the win because first off, I wanted to learn, right? I wanted to learn by doing. And then I was like, afterwards we can talk about it, and then again I was gonna plan on giving her the win anyways, because I wouldn't have been able to finish the third match, so I was gonna have to forfeit the third match anyway. So I was like, winning one game isn't gonna make a difference between winning 0 games. And she would have the opportunity to win, a second game, because she had lost her first game. But anyways, so yeah, she swung, I ended up winning, and then I let her know. And then it's funny because the person that was next to me kind of like started, like, after the game was over, as soon as the game was over, she had kind of started telling her, you should have done this in this situation. She should have loaded all of her Dawn up on her one character that had an unblockable, because I had a couple of blockers out there, and then so I was able to block the other swings, because I was able to get out of her big swing that she did, because I had a bunch of events. But if she attached all of her Dawn to the big swing, then the game would have been over, more than likely. I can't remember what I had in my hand, but I'm pretty sure it would have been over. But she brought that up, and then I brought it up too. And so we talked about it. She was like, oh no, I don't want you to give me the win, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, look, I am going to lose this third game. I don't have enough time to finish this third game. So it means nothing to me. I was like, it means nothing to me winning this game. There's a potential for you to win, this game and the next game. I have to forfeit this next game, because I had to come back home to go to work. Damn work. But, so yeah. And then the third game, so I won the second game. Third game, I was rolling on that third game, because it's so crazy how sometimes the dice roll really decides the games. Like the first 2 games I lost the dice roll. So the first game, guy he's like new-ish, like he's been around for a little while, but like I remember when he first came, so he knows what he's doing. But I think I would have had a much better chance if I would have gotten my curve, if I would have been able to go second. Second game, I had to go first again, but I ended up winning the game again. It was against a newer person. The third game, I actually was able to go second, won the dice roll, was able to go second, and then ended up I told the dude before we played, I was like, I'm gonna end up quitting the game because I only have a few minutes to play, but we can just get started and get some under our belt. But I was rolling. I was on a roll, and I'm trying to remember who that third game was. I don't remember off the top of my head, but was I playing against the Brook? No, I wasn't playing against the Brook. I don't remember who I was. Oh, I was playing against the Koala. I was playing against the Koala, and I was like, everything was running really, really smoothly and perfectly, and then I am sure that I would have won that game. Like, who really knows? Like, it's not over to the fat lady sings. I feel like I was in a really good position. Only made it to like my third or fourth turn, and then, like I said, I just said, okay, yeah, that's the time I got to go, and so I ended up. I'm telling this story for a reason. So I'll wrap the story up here real quick. But I went over to the people at the front desk, and they know me. They know, like, I typically stay, because it's not like illegal or anything like that to like leave the tournaments early or whatever. But it's kind of like, you're a douchebag because you're. But this was typically what happens is people leave like after the first, like, lose their first match, and then they leave, especially in like the bigger tournaments. Not normally the local tournaments, but like when they're like the bigger tournaments, the pre-release events, that kind of thing, like when people leave like that's really shitty. But this was the third round. It was over anyways, and then I told him, I was like, yeah, I gotta go to work anyways, so whatever. I just went 0-3, so you still get a pack. You get a couple of like the special event packs, and then there was like a promo, an ace promo. Anyways, I say all that to say, I opened the one pack that I got yesterday, and there was an SP in there. So I don't know what it is, man, but the SPs love me. I do really well with the SPs. I need to hit other shit. I wish I would have hit some SPs in fucking OP 13. OP 13 has some really good SPs, but whatever. Beggars can't be choosers. It was a Smoker into Shiggy, this is the second Smoker into Shiggy, which kind of sucks because this is the least valuable of the SPs in this set, and I got 2 of them, but whatever. I've done pretty well for the SPs. New set's going to be coming out here Friday, so 2 days away. Man, it's about to be Thursday, so 2 days away. Hopefully I will be going to a pre-release event, and I'm hoping that they can give me some of the boxes that I ordered. I ordered 10 of them, but we'll see how many they actually have and how many they're able to give out. I would assume I would be able to get at least 2 boxes, because that's typically what I've seen from them. They typically have like 2 boxes that you can get if you order like 10 or 15 or whatever. But I ordered 10. Even if I had the ability to get the 10, I don't think I would do it. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see when I get down there. But I ordered just a shit ton, just in case. They said, okay, you can have 5 if you ordered more, right? So if they kind of like parse it down or whatever and say, okay, you have to get less. But if I only order 2, then I'm only eligible for 2. But if I order 10 and they say, okay, you can have 5, that's why I did it. But anyways, so I don't think I'd get 5 even if they allowed me to. Maybe, we'll see. But anyways, long story short, Friday I should have some boxes to open of OP16. So I'm super pumped about that. So hopefully Boxing Day on Friday. Depending on how late it is, I don't think that's gonna matter, because typically I get out of those things probably like at like maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock ish. Be home around 9:30, maybe 10. So we'll probably be doing a box opening. We'll have a Boxing Day on Friday for OP16. So super pumped about that. Let's open some motherfucking packs, my boy. We'll start with the fatter stack. So this one is 10. This other one looks like, I don't know. Let me count. I think it's 9. So that number sounds familiar. I think it's 19. Come on, you bad boy. Bad boy, bad boy. What you gonna do? I do need to get back into streaming more regularly, because I'm sitting here talking 30 minutes into it, and I still have stuff to talk about. I've made a change. I made another change because, we all about experimenting on this channel. That's why we do a lot of different stuff. We went to Beckett again. That was an experiment. Didn't work out the way we wanted it to or the way we planned it, but that's okay. So we'll we'll learn from that and we'll move on. But the past couple of months, I think it started with OP 15. I think it was, maybe it was OP 14. Well, anyways, for what is it? So April and May, the 1 cent cards. So all the cards, the bulkiest of the bulk, right? So the cards that I'm just trying to get rid of. I moved up those prices from April and May. I moved up those prices, or during April and May, those cards were 2 cents, right? Because we had looked through. I remember saying this on stream, but we were looking through a lot of the cards compared to what other people are selling them for, and shit, people were selling them for like 5 cents. 5 cents was the lowest listing. So I'm like, shit, I can sell them for 2 cents, and I'll still be the lowest, and I'll be making double what I would have been making before, right? Because 2 cents is double 1 cent, but I'm still 3 cents less than what the next lowest listing. And I noticed a significant decrease in my sales in April and May, right? I'd been on track for like $1,000 a month, January, February, March. It was about $1,000 in sales per month. Maybe a little bit less than that. I know I was over $1,000 in March. I think the other months were just like right at 1,000, maybe just a little bit less than 1,000. But April and May were significantly less. Okay, it was like, I think, and I don't think May is like completed yet. I don't think all the numbers have kind of like finalized because they don't, the payouts don't come until maybe like 10 days after you ship it. But anyways, they basically have my sales have went down quite a bit, right? And it was fine because I was really burnt out from doing the sales for a while. I've talked about this on stream as well. I was really burnt out from doing the sales, so I was just like, I do not want to do this because work was killing me, and it was just like life was like very busy in my personal life and stuff like that. And then plus having to do this, which feels like another job, right? This side hustle. It really does. It's a lot of time that goes into like organizing the cards, doing the orders, inventory in the cards. Like it is just a lot of time. But anyways, so I'm really feeling really good when it comes to that again. Like everything is really getting back on pace. But so I had, everything was like 2 cents instead of 1 cent, and the sales just weren't like I'm used to doing it. Again, it was fine with me because I was like, okay, I'm tired of doing this for a little while. I need a break. So the sales, I was doing, a few sales a day during that month. Some days not even getting any sales, which whatever, it happens. But over the past couple of days, so I think on Monday, so maybe the 1st, or maybe it was the 31st. It was a couple of days ago. I don't remember specifically when it was, but it was a couple of days ago. I'm inventorying the cards, and I'm like, you know what? I need to get rid of these cards because my cards, the biggest driving factor was I haven't been selling cards. So they're my backlog of cards. I keep using that word backlog, but the cards are just like here, right? I have these cards here in my inventory, and it's just taking up space. And I'm like, I need to get rid of these cards. Like I have not sold a lot of OP15. Really, OP15 is where it started, where I was just like, I have a shit ton of these OP15 cards, and they're not selling. They're just really not selling. And so I was like, I'm going to go down to 1 cent and see. I'm going to go back down. And what's funny is like all the other cards, like the cards that I wasn't selling for 1 cent, the cards that I was selling for 5 cents and 10 cents and all that shit, I kept those prices the same. But all the 2 cent cards, I made 1 cent. And yesterday I did 26 sales, right? That's like almost as many sales as I did in 2 weeks in May and April, right? So I did 26 sales just yesterday, and I'm actually, like I said, I'm feeling in a really good spot. So I'm going through the orders very quickly. I'm inventorying the cards like pretty regularly. I have a couple of cards here, probably like maybe 150 cards here that I still need to inventory, but I was sitting on probably 600 or 700. But the past couple of days I've been inventorying them, and it's not really been bothering me. But anyways, yeah, so Chomutta, what's up? Who are you playing with? You'll get it next time, man. You will get it next time. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I made all the bulk cards from 2 cent back down to 1 cent, and it's made a very, very drastic difference. And I'm just doing sales after sales after sales. Like I said, 26 sales yesterday. The day before, I did double-digit sales as well. I don't remember the specific number, but it was double digits. Hadn't done double-digit sales in a while. You know what I'm saying? And so it's definitely very apparent that making that small change from 2 cents to 1 cent makes a big difference. And then, like I said, the other cards, right? The uncommon cards, the rare cards, those things, those are still like 5 cents, 10 cents. Obviously, it ranges depending on the card and how valuable the card is itself. But you know, those cards are still the same price. So the orders, they're actually decent cost, or the decent value in the orders. You know what I'm saying? You know, most people aren't buying, you know, 1 or 2 cents worth of cards. They're buying, you know, 50 cents worth of cards. They're not buying 50 cards. But you know, they're buying 10 of these penny cards, and then they're buying some other cards that are worth a quarter and $1 and that kind of thing. So it's kind of worked out very well. All right, let me start. Blue, yellow, Nami, of course. All right, who are you playing in this next set? Are you gonna be sticking with Nami? I will be playing Black Yellow Teach. I've been playing them on the sim just non-stop. And it's very frustrating because it's a lot easier when like people in the East build the decks and then we just kind of copy off of them, but we haven't had that because their cards just came out on Friday. So they're still they're figuring it out themselves. They're trying to figure out what the meta is going to look like, that kind of thing. So having to brainstorm and try to figure out the best build for Black Yellow Teach really sucks. But I'm sure I'm very familiar with it at this point, and I'm fairly certain that most of the I'm fairly certain that at some point someone will come up with a good deck and I'll be able to copy that, and it'll be fine. All right, so first card is up. This is one of the cards from one of those folios. I don't remember which one it is. I have it up there, but because I bought 2 of them, I opened one. I opened all the cards from one of them, just because, and then decided to send them all in there. But let's start. We'll start with this Brook, and so this is Brook from that folio, but it's originally, so this is like a promo art for the STO1 Brook, and this one says 9.5. Who'd have thunk it, right? Who'd have thunk this was going to be a 9.5? Don't want to learn a new one. Dude, I completely understand, man. I was in that boat for a while. Eventually, maybe, you know, maybe you won't, but I think maybe you'll probably get to the point where like, okay, this deck looks pretty fun. Let's see a deck will come out, a leader will come out that has a really... Oh, it doesn't have subgrades because I didn't pay for the subgrades. The subgrades were like, there's a $3 difference between the non-subgrades and the subgrades. But if you got a 10 on the subgrades, or excuse me, but if you got a 10, then they add the subgrades automatically. And so I'm like, and at the rate that I was sending cards in, right, like $3 doesn't feel like a big difference for like one card, but I'm sending in, you know, 20, 25, 30 cards at a time. Like that really adds up. And a 9.5 with no subgrades isn't any different than a 9.5 with subgrades. It's still a 9.5. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of drives you crazy. Like, God damn it, why you know, why was this centering off, or why was this blah blah blah. So that's the reason why. And again, if you get a 10, they automatically put the subgrades on there for you. I mean, they charge you for it, but they put the subgrades on there when you hit a 10. So let's see. You'll get used to it. It is different. I will be 100% honest with you. It is different playing in real life versus playing on the sim. Like you get familiar with the decks and things like that, but people play different in real life than they do on the sim. You know, you play different than how you play on the sim, right? Because the sim, you're just grinding games. You can play as many games as you want to. You know what I'm saying? You play like infinite number of games. You just got to queue up, keep queuing up, keep queuing up. But here it's like, and it's for nothing. That you're not playing for anything. But for the like in real life, you're typically playing to, you know, do better in this tournament, playing against somebody else. You only have, you know, a certain number of games, 3 or 4, a couple of games to play. So you have to try and get your, you know, you try and have to make the most of what you get. Again, because like if you get something shitty and you're just kind of getting ran over, you can just concede and then queue up and play another game, right? So it is very different playing in real life than it is in the sim. All right, so Sentomaru. So this is again from the I think the first few of these are going to be from that pack that I had opened and sent off. 9.5. Oh, that's good. That's good, man. Oh, dude, that is the number one thing. The sim does everything for you, right? The sim, you know, says, okay, your opponent's supposed to take a life here, or you're supposed to draw this card, or, you know, do you want to activate this ability? You know, it does all that stuff for you, but you have to do that stuff on your own in real life. And that is the biggest difference between playing on the sim and in real life. Like that was one of the biggest issues that I had with Koala, because with Koala, when I was playing Koala pretty heavily, like Koala, you know, if they played an 8-cost character, or if they played a character off of another character's effect, right? So typically I would like miss when they played an 8-cost character that they had to burn a life, right? That they had to take one of their lives, because I'm always focused on, you know, playing a character off of another character. That was what I was mainly focused on. But again, the sim takes care of all that. And I can think back right now of instances where I'm playing against somebody and they played an 8-cost character and I didn't force them to take a life from my leader ability. So it is definitely a big difference. But you kind of gotta get used to it and like get really familiar with the deck, playing with it in real life. All right, Shirahoshi, 9.5. All right, Jack. Again, this is another one from yeah, these first I think these first ones are all groups together from that what is it called? I'll just open this one and see. All right, Jack. Ooh, we get a 10, baby. Centering. Yeah, fucking centering. It'll always get you. This is one of the best artworks though of all these that I've gotten so far. This is one of the best looking artworks. I like this one a lot. What is this from? Oh, wait a minute. This is okay, they have these this came from the same pack, or this came from the same thing, but they have it marked a bit differently. These are saying 2024 to 2022 to 2024 One Piece promos, blah blah blah, textured P premium card collection, blah blah blah. This one is 2024, just, but again, they came from the same little folder, the folio. 2024 One Piece promos, Jack textured, premium card collection. That's what it's called, premium card collection, Bandai Card Games Fest. 10, not too bad. Alrighty, that one I like the way that one looks out of all the ones that we looked at so far. Yep, this one is another one from damn, that's a good ass effect, bro. What is this? Oh, this is OPO1. And it's Lando Wano. Yeah. Resto. Don ×1 when attacking. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 5 or less. That is crazy. That is absolutely insane. All right. 9.5. Ooh, is this Sanji from... I think the Sanji is from... Yeah, I think the Sanji is from that same thing. Yeah, because this Jinbei is. Okay, so we'll see. Actually, this will tell us for sure. 9.5. Yep. Bandai Card Games Fest. Alright, Jinbei. 9-point Fizzive. Toshigi. Damn, I think all these, this whole deal is from that. Toshigi. 10. Wah wah. Man, that centering is killing me. It's killing me, Smalls. It's killing me. I thought about this the other day, and this isn't how I want to say how Beckett can fix their grading, because I don't think there's anything wrong with it, and this would never happen. But I think to like add additional value to some of their cards, they need to add a 10.5 rating, right? But I guess the Black Label is still a 10 technically, so then that would have to go up to an 11. So it would be 10, where all the 9.5s would become 10s. The 10.5s would become, or excuse me, the 9.5s would basically become 10s. The 10s would be 10.5. So there could be a lot more 10s, right? You know, if that makes sense. There could be more 10s, and then they would still have like the Black Label, maybe Black Label 10.5, or maybe they make it 11 or some shit like that. I don't know. But 2 10s, not bad. Fukoro me? No, Fukoro you. Okay, I think this is the last one from that Bandai Cards Fest deal. 9.5. So 2 10s so far. Monkey D. Luffy. So this is the alt art Monkey D. Luffy from OP12. Let's see what we have here. A 9. That is nasty work. Nasty work. Oh well, that's done. Okay, I need to close my eyes for this one. Oh yeah, so they have the like apparently the label does look much better. I will say that. Like that was one thing I hated about the Beckett cards. Was that the label just looked so flimsy. It looked like you know how you have those damn, what are they called? The folders, those hanger folders that have the little folded piece of paper, and you write whatever that that has like the little dividers or whatever, and you wrote whatever the subject was in school, or like math or science and all. You know, it looked like one of those just kind of like put in there. Is really what it looked like, because it was always like creased or bent or dimpled or something like that, and it just looked bad, and I hated it. That was one thing that I really hated about going to Beckett. You know what I'm saying? But they've made a change, and these new ones look awesome. They look amazing. Even though this is 9, that sucks. It still looks really good. I like the fact that they changed that. Yeah, they look so much better. And then on the back, it looks way more official, right? Because they have like you know, they have watermarks on it to kind of like authenticate that the card is real. I believe you can scan the QR code to like authenticate it, and it may take you to like the pop report for the card or something like that. I don't know. I haven't scanned one yet, which is kind of surprising. Probably scan one of these here pretty soon. But That's pretty cool. I'm thinking that PSA may have a. I'm thinking that PSA may have some changes to theirs at some point in the near future, because, like I mentioned, I think PSA probably won't do it, but I think they should. Yeah, PSA probably won't do it, but they should add like another tier. But the thing that sucks about that is like they've been out for so long that if they add another tier, like a black, like equivalent to like a black label, then everybody and they mama will send in every 10 that they have to get a, you know, to get another to get it looked at again. Now, if they, but I think they have like some sort of I think they have like some sort of deal where if you have if you got the card graded initially there, like maybe they'll do like a free review or something like that. But if they were to like say, okay, we're not doing a free review. Ooh, I got a there's an SP here. Okay, come on. This is a Sengoku, but still, I would really like a 10 on this Sengoku. But if they did some sort of, you know, deal where like we'll do a free review for you, but if you want to get it upgraded to a potential black label or gold label or something, they would probably do like a gold label, right? They would do like a, you know, there would be like some sort of fee, right, for that review to try and get it from a 10 to a gold label or whatever. But you know, if you didn't get the gold label, then you're still out the $20 or however much it costs for that review, right? So I think that they could potentially do that because they would still make a shit ton of fucking money, and I would assume probably the majority of the time they wouldn't even have to do anything other than like review the card. They wouldn't have to like recase it or whatever. All right, so Sengoku. Okay, this is probably, I don't know what else is in here, but this is probably the card that I want to be a fucking 10 the most out of all the cards. Come on. Give me a 10. Fuck you, man. God damn it. Ugh. Fuckers, man. I'm sad, but I'm really kind of glad that I'm moving away from see, this is OP14, so yeah, these cards were sent in relatively recently. I'm glad, like the 9.5s are just they are such killers, especially when I send in so many cards like I do. It is just a killer. So yeah, I meant to say this as well. So so not this Sunday, but last Sunday, again, I was moving over to I was migrating already. I had already sent in one order to PSA, but this was going to be my second bigger order, right? Because I had sent some cards into PSA before, but this order was like slightly bigger. You know what I'm saying? Or these orders were slightly bigger, right? Because the other orders the only order I had sent in before was like maybe like 7 or 8 cards or something. These are like 20 card orders. So I had sent one in like maybe in March, and then 2 weeks ago I had went in and sent an order in for about like 20 cards. And then Saturday I went to the event, and someone had told me, because I was under the impression that I would still be able to go to GameStop, and so I had talked to someone, and he's like, because he was like, oh man, Beckett wasn't nice to you because he saw the 9.5s. I was like, yeah man, I know. I was like, but I'm moving to PSA. He was like, oh man, it sucks that they're going to, they're getting rid of the lower tier and it's gonna be like $80 a card. I was like, yeah, I'll still be able to go to GameStop. He's like, no, everyone's stopping it. Like you won't be able to do it. Like you can't go through GameStop anymore. And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. You mean I won't be able to? So I looked it up, saw it was true. I called a couple of the GameStops. It was true. But they had given you till like Sunday. So it was Saturday when I was making all these calls and stuff, but they had given you till like Sunday to submit the orders or whatever. So I took 50 cards that I had waiting to get graded, because again I was doing like smaller orders. I had took 50 cards up there and had them shipped off to get graded, which I wasn't wanting to do because it was like over $1,000. It was like $1,200 to get these cards graded, man. And I was not looking forward to doing that all in one go because it's fucking $1,200. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I need to get these cards graded while I still can, because, you know, I'm not going to be able to get them graded for another 4 or 5 months. So I just went ahead and bit the bullet. And hopefully, you know, my idea is that I'll be getting these cards back, you know, when I would have been waiting to send them off, you know. So should be getting a big, massive order at some point in the, you know, in the mid future. But I have a ton of cards sent off to PSA. Ooh, man, they are doing my Luffy's dirty, man. Yeah, I cannot. I'm glad I'm not doing Beckett anymore, which kind of makes me sad, dude. But you gotta have 9s, you gotta have 8.5s, you gotta have those things. But golly, man, there's no way. There's no way. Oh, all right. There's another card in here. Y'all can make it up to me. Y'all didn't give me my 10 on that Sengoku. All right, so another Luffy, man. These Luffys are doing me. They shitty so far. I got a 9 and then an 8.5 on Luffy so far. What we got here? 9. Oof. They are not treating Luffy well. They are not treating Luffy well. All right. This is the card. This is the number 1 card that needs to be a 10. This is my alternate art. I bought this one. I was there when the guy opened it. I bought it from him for $130. I loved this card. When I first saw this card, I loved this artwork. Thought it was amazing. So I bought it from him right then and there. $130. 10. Come on, be a 10. Be a 10. Be a 10. Fuck, man. Oh, still love this card. It looks amazing. God. I would be shocked if there's not one more 10 in here, but I wouldn't be shocked. Okay, these next 2 are from fucking that deal, that folio. 9.5. Okay, there's a couple of what are they called? There's a couple of Riftbound cards in here too. So this is the last One Piece card, I think. Oh, wait a minute. I was watching this game and I completely forgot. Oh, the game is over. Damn it. I don't know who won. I meant to kind of flick back and forth from watching the game and I started to yap too much. All right, Black Maria. What? A 6. Huh? Okay. We'll just move on. I don't even care anymore. All right, Radiant Dawn. Ooh, and then we got a Kaisa, Daughter of the Void. That card. Okay, I take everything I said back. This card is the card that I need to have at 10. The Kaisa, Daughter of the Void. That card is more than it probably, you know, I think it is more than all these other cards, not combined, but it is it's the most expensive card out of all these. So let's check out this Radiant Dawn, Leona. 9.5. This is like the alt art leader. So this is the alternate legend. Okay. Kaisa, Daughter of the Void. Let's look up what this Kaisa costs right now. I'm gonna look up what this Kaisa is running right now. Raw. Set. This is from Origins. Oh, wait a minute, is Kaisa here already? Product type, cards. Kaisa, Daughter of the Void, overnumbered. $130. This is $130. I want to see this. I said this was the most expensive card. I think it is. I'm going to look at, what was that Sengoku? Where's that Sengoku from? Sengoku's from OP14. Let me look up Sengoku real quick, the SP. The Azure Seas 7 cards, color blue. Sengoku is $66 right now. Oh, that is a low SP, buddy. Very low. But still an SP. Alright, so Kaisa. Alright, please be a 10. 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 Oh my god. Oh. Rough, man. Rough. Ugh. Man. We got 2 10s. We got a Tashigi. What was that other 10? And this Jack. God. I just... This really genuinely makes me not want to go to Beckett for anything. I'm being dead serious. It's just impossible to get anything. Yeah, everything else here was 9.5. Yep. God, out of everything, I could have got, I wanted a 10 on that one. That was the last but not least. Okay. Kind of going through here to figure out what cards need to be resent. And it's definitely these. Maybe this Leona. Probably not this Leona, if I'm being honest. I really don't care about that one that much. But these 3 definitely need to be sent to... These will probably be opened up. Yeah, I'll probably end up cracking these and send them to PSA. Hopefully get a 10. And, you know, that'll be in fucking 4 months. So, yeah, these are sticking around. These will stick around for a few months. God, man, that Kaisa's rough. Well, anyways, that's that. I know I haven't been opening packs and things like that often. Again, it's because it's just fucking impossible to get shit. So I'm hoping that I can get some. Hopefully, I can get some stuff on Friday. Like I said, I ordered 10 boxes. If, let's just say, by some miracle, they're allowing me to purchase 10 boxes, I'll probably, like, get 5. I think 5 is probably my max, depending on how much they cost, obviously. But I think 5 is, like, my max on what I would pay, or how many boxes I would buy right now. Just because I need to have some like packs available to do my fucking stream. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just they're nowhere. They're literally nowhere. Can never find them. Like I'm not on my grind anymore like I used to be. Like I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I don't have the patience to be on my grind to go to Target every single fucking day to see if they've gotten cards. Every single fucking day. I used to go to every day. And then I used to go to fucking multiple Targets in the area every day to see if they had fucking packs. And so to see if there was a restock. And it was just so time consuming and so stressful and it's just annoying. And so it's just kind of like, you know what? Fuck it. I can't do that anymore. This Kaisa hurts. It really fucking hurts. I am not gonna lie. Oof. Oh well. Card still looks fucking amazing. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for hanging out. Thank you very much for watching. I'm super grateful. I'm super appreciative. Probably won't be streaming tomorrow, but as long as I'm able to get some cards on Friday, which I don't foresee that not happening. As long as I'm able to get those cards on Friday, I will be streaming. So be on the lookout, and we should be opening the box on Friday. So until the next time, guys, good luck on your rips. Peace out.